Where is Natalie Quirke is a question I've asked myself many times over the course of the season. So what's the answer today, Natalie?
Well, you actually joined me, Clem, in the Wembley suite, which I know might surprise you because they only normally let VIPs in this area, but we've been given exclusive access without cameras so that we can come and speak to the chairman of Halifax, David Bosomworth, and the director at Grimsby, John Fenty. I know you're going to be enjoying the hospitality up here of the National Stadium in just a while, but David, first of all, I know it's been a mixed few weeks for you, but in terms of the build-up for this final, your first at Wembley, how have you seen the town support you in these last 7 days?
Well, you're right, Natalie. Bittersweet experience for us with relegation, but today's a special day for the fans, the community of Halifax and Calderdale, and I think there's 10,000 here today, and there's a real buzz around the town, and I'm sure it's exactly the same in Grimsby, albeit they're regular visitors here now. But for us, 105 years since the club's ever been to Wembley, so a huge occasion and something really that we just got to cherish, enjoy, and hopefully turn up and give a very good account of ourselves.
Has relegation and the scenes of the last day of the season cast any shadow on today's event for you?
Well, there is difficulty, obviously, because we've kicked our heels for about 3 weeks, and obviously Grimsby have been playing very competitive matches, and I'd like to say congratulations to Grimsby Town on their promotion to the Football League, and they richly deserve it. They've been knocking on the door for quite a while, and so obviously they've been playing competitive matches, and we're match tight, and but we'll have rested some weary legs perhaps, so only time will tell, but I think the lads will be determined to go out on a high if they possibly can.
Well, John, I suppose it's been a very different few weeks for you and for Grimsby. What kind of reaction have you seen since the celebrations here 7 days ago?
Well, firstly, thank you to David for those kind words. I mean, it's been terrific back home. We've had a civic ceremony. We had something like 25,000 people line the streets and an open-top bus. It was an absolutely fabulous week. There's been so many different functions for players to go to. You know, unfortunately, we haven't had as much football as we'd probably have liked, but we're still celebrating from what is a wonderful achievement to get back in the Football League.
I suppose everybody knows the history of the playoffs with Grimsby, and as a director, you have to make difficult decisions. Had you had to consider the future of your manager had you not been promoted last week?
Well, no, we weren't in consideration at all, and what I've got to say is that Paul Hurst's got a wonderful CV, irrespective of last week's achievement. He promoted Ilkeston. When we took him, he had Boston United in the playoff area. Then, of course, he came to our football club. We've been in the playoffs 4 times. We've been to 2 cup finals. And when all's said and done, they're fantastic achievements aside. So, no, it wasn't in consideration. And we're delighted to have Paul.
The planning now gets underway, I suppose, for next season. David, how much will today's result have an impact on next year for you?
Well, I think obviously for ourselves, there may be some players who are playing the last game for the club. Obviously, we've some serious negotiations to have over the course of the next 7-10 days, and we've got to look at how we're going to re-energise ourselves and obviously try and get back into the National League as quickly as possible, because our ultimate aim is we want to be back in the Football League as the old Halifax Town was. So for us, there's a lot of hard work ahead, and we'll be knuckling down. But today, it's that special day, and as I say, probably I've said previously, you know, the head is I wanted to stay in the league, but the heart is, well, let's have a lovely day out at Wembley, because this, you know, players come along and you know, it might be the first of many appearances at Wembley, but it might also be their one and only chance to play at Wembley. So they've got to be able to relax, not get swept away with the occasion, albeit, you know, it's easy for us perhaps to say sat in the seats here, but at the end of the day, to try and do justice to themselves, the families, and to the club itself, and that's all we can ask.
John, have you started negotiations on how Grimsby can be competitive in League Two?
Well, I think first and foremost we have to assemble into next season that of the squad which Paul wants to keep, and by and large I think it's most of them, if not all of them. We're waiting his response on that, his proposals, and then clearly he'll look to build on that, and we're looking forward to doing those negotiations and making it happen.
John, David, thank you very much indeed for talking to us. We hope you both enjoy the day, and may the best team win. Thank you very much. Back to you,
Thank you, Natalie.